you planning to go in spring 2023 to United States and you're nervous for your visa interview? Well, here's an experience of Karan, who's actually going to Syracuse University for Masters in Applied Data Science, and he is kind enough to share his recent visa interview experience and what questions was asked to him and what answers he gave. I hope this will be valuable and helpful to you and your practice for visa interview. Before we get started, let's do a quick intro, like your name, where are you from, and what you do, and fun stuff about you.
Okay, great. So my name is Karan Shah, and I am from Mumbai, India. Especially, I'm from Borivali. I completed my bachelor's in computer engineering, and I'm planning for my master's in applied data science in spring 23.
Nice. What university?
Syracuse University, New York.
And what's your profile like? And yeah, like GRE, TOEFL, bachelor's. What's your profile look like?
Okay, so I just graduated in this June 22. I had like back I was in my college, mostly in my third year of engineering. I had my small startup kind of thing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it was like a freelancing business which we started, and actually I was not planning for spring 23. I was planning for fall 23. So
Mm.
I didn't give my GRE. I prepared for it, but I didn't give my exam. By the time I gave my IELTS exam, and I had 6.5 bands in my IELTS,
Mm.
and yeah, I had a CGP of 8.57.
Nice. So, did Syracuse not require GRE at all, or
It was optional.
optional? Okay, okay. And so,
Right.
what all universities did you apply to, and what were your admits and rejects?
Okay, so I applied to 5 universities. First one was University of Michigan Dearborn.
Mm.
So they asked me for an EC evaluation, but I think it is an expensive process, and I was just understanding the process on how to apply for that EC evaluation, and I got an admit from Syracuse. So I didn't really complete that particular application. So apart from that, I have applied to 4 universities. First is Syracuse, second is George Washington University, third is University of Southern California, and
Mm.
Northeastern University. So
Nice.
out of 4 universities, I have accepts in two. That is Syracuse University and George Washington.
Let's talk about like why Syracuse over George Washington.
Yeah, actually, Syracuse and George Washington like was a very tough choice for me
Yes.
because because I think both the colleges have almost the same rank. It's
Mm.
just that George Washington is in like Washington DC, like which is the main hub uh, at Washington DC. If I compare Syracuse and George Washington, then like I had few of my friends at Syracuse University, so that was a plus point for me. At Syracuse, the cost of living is slightly lower than George
Mm.
Washington,
Mm.
and at Syracuse I'm getting like almost a 2 BHK house, so I need to share my room with just one people. So
Mm.
that's a plus point for me. And whereas at George Washington, I think there are like 6 to 7 people staying in a room. So
Wow, that is
yes,
crazy. Yeah, I didn't
right.
know that. Yeah. And how did you do all this research? Did you like talk to the seniors, reached out to people?
Yeah, I reached people via LinkedIn, and like I also tried reaching people via like writing them a mail, and reaching
Nice.
them via Instagram and other social medias.
Let's talk about visa experience because everybody's watching this for that purpose. Like, what was your visa? I think you're the first one who I know that who has sent me a message that they've gotten their approval because everyone is still struggling to get an appointment.
Right.
So, how was your experience?
So on November 14th, I booked an appointment. I got a biometrics appointment for November 16th. That is
Mm.
just the next day.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got an appointment of my visa interview on November 18th. So I
Mm.
just had 3 days for preparing for the interviews, preparing all the documentations. So yes, I think it was like a very stressful
Stressful.
process.
Yeah. Yeah. What happened? Like, how was your interview?
Yeah, interview was I think pretty chill. I didn't get like many difficult questions. It was like I just passed my I-20. the visa officer asked me that, yeah, you are going to Syracuse. So yeah, I told him that yes, I'm going to Syracuse.
Yeah.
Then he asked me about fundings and everything. Yeah, so like how are you like sponsoring your education? So like
Mm.
I told them like I have a loan, I've received a scholarship, and I'll be using like few of my parents' funds. So that's what I told them. Next thing, he asked me like on my I-20 it was written that I'm doing masters in informatics,
Right.
and the course which I'm going to is applied data science. So the visa officer was not aware of like what is informatics. So he asked me on that. So why masters in informatics and what exactly it is? So I told him that it's like a specialized domain, and within that domain I'll be doing my masters in applied data science. I mentioned three things, like one was the loans, second one was the scholarship, and my family funds. So out of three, like which is the major amount which you will be using?
Oh,
So yeah, so I told them that I'll be using my loans.
okay.
Yeah, right. And yeah, that's all. Like these were like the main questions. Then he like asked me about like what type of loan do you have? Is it a secured or an unsecured one? And so
Mm.
on.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
I heard you say before that you already have two-bedroom apartment and it's cheaper. So did you already book your apartment?
I'll be booking it today because like my roommate friend has a visa interview today, like
Oh,
in
okay, okay,
like an
okay.
hour or two. So yeah,
And then
I'm
how
just
did you find the roommate?
yeah. So I joined the Syracuse group
Okay.
on Facebook, and then there was a WhatsApp link. I joined the WhatsApp group, and then we started like talking with people within the group. So yeah, he's also from Mumbai, and yeah, I think he's like 2 3 years elder than me.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice. And then how did you find the apartment itself?
So yeah, I have one of my friend who just went this fall in the
Okay.
month of
So
like
6 months
August.
before you. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months before me. So I asked them that yeah, I'm coming to Syracuse planning for my masters. So I asked him about the like about the landlord's number and everything. Then I started speaking with him, and there's an apartment like which is just near to him.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we'll be like booking it in a day or two.
What's the rent for that?
Rent is like $450.
450. I mean, 450 for you.
Yeah, 450 for me.
What's the one advice would you give for anybody who's watching this, planning to go to Syracuse or visa interview?
So yeah, one advice I would like to give is for visa interview, it's like staying as confident as you can, because we already know like what are the questions which we'll be getting. It's mostly about the universities, your accepts, rejects, fundings, low. Those are the basic questions. I think if we prepare well and stay confident, and yeah, that's all is enough for the visa interview.
That's awesome, man. Uh, awesome. And maybe you can give a link to the Facebook group, WhatsApp group, and Telegram so that if people are wanting to go to Syracuse, they can join that group
Sure,
and reach out to you. I'll also put your LinkedIn or Instagram so that people can
sure,
reach out to you if they have questions about Syracuse.
sure, hundred
Yeah.
percent.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing this. Really means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next one. Until then,
Keep smiling, keep hustling. You gotta hustle every single day.
nice. I love it. I love it. You finished the whole thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool.
Okay, so my visa appointment, first I'd like to share my visa appointment experience. So how did I get my appointment?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was like on 9th of November, I received my I-20.
Mm,
It was I think Wednesday,
mm,
and then I had like I didn't do anything on Thursday. Then I had Fridays and Saturdays. So
mm.
I was just trying to understand the DS 160 and the visa form.
Yeah.
I filled I almost completed it, but I did not submitted it. So
Mm,
like, I just wanted to review it once again. So I just completed all those stuffs during the weekend, and on Monday my visa portal was on, because I think it takes around 24 hours for
the
it
fees.
to
Yeah.
yeah, after I can just book my appointment.
Mm,
So that night I was just I had joined a Telegram group wherein I can just monitor like are there any visa slots coming or not. So
Nice.
I got up during the night, like around two, 3 times, and like I was just checking like if there are any visa interviews there
In the
or not.
night? Wow.
3, 4 times, like I just put up an alarm after like 2 hours. Uh, I didn't really log in the account, but I was just checking that particular Telegram group.
Okay.
So yeah, so the next morning, that was around Monday, my visa portal was on, and on Tuesday, so Tuesday, I saw a message there. There are like few slots coming up. So and also it was like my first login that so like I considered like let me just try to log in it.
Yeah.
So around like I tried to book the slot around 4 or 5 times, but it was not happening.
Mm.
But for the sixth time it happened,